Hey, what's happening? This is your host Tinto, and yes, we are back with the coffee appreciations. Starting with you, Tichi today, Bogus. Thank you so much for your contribution, and your comment there says because you are Burke, B-U-R-K. And then next up, we've got Amanda Okafor. Thank you so much for your generosity. Your comment there goes, so grateful for the gift. That is the feeling station. Tinto, you are the best. Hey, so are you, Amanda. Next up, I got Alafe J. 15 strong coffees. And your comment there reads, I really love the fact that you encourage people to dig deep and truly reflect on how they have enabled or allowed certain behaviors or patterns into their own life. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. Next up, I got Haim A. This is not your first time given to the podcast, and your comment there reads, life's been trippy and it's been a minute or two since I bought you coffee. Thanks for keeping the podcast going, providing a distraction for when things got heavy. You're welcome. Chi-Chi, thank you so much. You gave me a coffee saying drop it now. I think I was asking you guys to give me coffee before I drop the next episode. And then I got the Addicted Doc. Thank you so much for your generous contribution. Your comment there reads, you've already dropped the episode, but I just wanted to thank you for the work you're doing with this podcast. Long-time listener since episode 1. Keep going, Tinto. Thanks, Addicted Doc. I appreciate you. The next up, I got 041973. You gave me a generous contribution of coffees, and your comment there reads, thank you for this amazing podcast. It makes my train journey to work bearable. You're welcome. Last but not least, this came yesterday and got me so excited. 25 solid coffees, ladies and gentlemen, from Vibey Tawi. And your comment there goes, my drives to and back from work have been great. Thank you. It's amazing how some of those stories are relatable almost every time, lol. Happy Easter, my guy. Tawi, thank you so much, man. That's really, really generous of you. If you'd like to give to the podcast in a similar manner, please head over to www.buymeacoffee.com/feeling station and give as your spirit leads. Remember, there is nothing that is too small to support the podcast that you've grown to love. With that out of the way, let's get straight into 2023's first male podcast. Oh, you guys are gonna love this.
Is that a breakup? I think we have a situation right here. On the Feeling Station.
Hello?
Yo, what's happening, brother?
Yo.
You have no idea how hyped I am because I've just spent the last half hour listening to fresh Amapiano music, and the song that was playing just now is called Uyamemeza by Nkosazana Dota, produced by Kabza. Eish, man.
Do you know she's actually like my favorite vocalist right now?
She's dope, right?
Bro, not only that, but I actually follow on Instagram. I love it, Dimples, man. So you already know.
Bruh, is this still about music, man, nigga?
Bro. That's so just between you and me, that's like that's my type.
That's your type, yeah? This is just between you and us because everybody listening to the podcast has just clocked that, brother.
Bro.
So good to hear you, man.
Nkosazana is hot. It's hot.
Welcome to the Feeling Station.
Oh, I'm so excited, bro. I'm excited to be on the pod. And you're listening to that song, but listening to it's called Stamina by Tiwa. I also have a crush on Tiwa, so
I'm gonna send you a picture actually.
Tiwa Savage.
Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Hopefully I can find it quick enough. Hold on.
Bro, Tiwa is the most beautiful woman in the world, bro.
Yeah, for real?
Yeah, man. So much that I can't even play Tiwa Savage when my girlfriend is around.
You're joking, fam.
She knows. Like it's a competition.
No. And she's seen pictures of, needless to say, she knows exactly who Tiwa Savage is. I was just about to ask a really dumb question, but then I put myself in check before I asked it.
No, just ask. So your listeners can know that you ask dumb questions.
Nah, I'm not doing that. I've just sent you a picture. Hopefully, it won't take too long to get over to you.
I just got something from you.
Have a look. See if you recognize who that is.
Bruv.
I'm with your girl, fam.
Bruv. Do you know what? My only comfort right now is, bro, you're just looking like so young and giddy. I wish people could see this picture. So you are not a threat. If you had seen her, or if you had met her, like how you look right now,
yes,
with the brainstem and all that shit,
it would have been a problem.
Would have been a problem.
So just not to name drop because it's not really my thing.
Right.
But if you're smart enough, you clock I am actually name dropping. That day I was with Tiwa Savage, I was with Mr. Easy, I was with Don Jazzy. I forgot who else was around. But it was fun. This is back in the day when I used to do music videos, but all of that is gone now. Ever since I got a son, it's literally out the window. But
my only solace also is because she's kind of overdressed. Did she undress? Did you wear something like sexy and?
Well, no.
This is all you got.
Well, no. This is all I got because this is soon as they got onto set.
Right.
Yeah. So this was before they actually got dressed up for the actual music video. This was literally 3 minutes into them arriving because once they get in and they get changed, it's work, and you will not be able to get anything beyond that point. Yeah, I'll look for the other things and set them up for you.
I'm jealous. I got close, but
but not close enough. Yeah,
not close enough.
You don't have a hand. You don't have your hand around.
I couldn't smell a scent like you, bro.
Anyway, for those listening to the podcast for the first time, it's a romantic, family, and friendship breakup podcast showcasing stories that people would like to talk about with a view to give lessons from their experiences. Now, I hope you find today's story entertaining, but more importantly, meaningful. And the podcast is popular for two main reasons. The first being, I do my best to keep my guests anonymous. So I've picked a name for you, my brother. I know you gave me one to use, but listen, we do African names only here. We don't do European names and whatever names. We do African names here. But
bro, are we not living in the Western Hemisphere?
It does not matter.
We not?
It does not matter now. It does not matter. We need to remind them that we come from the land of the living.
Let me hear it.
So the name that I've picked for you is Barack, which is
Barack.
Yeah, man. Barack.
As in Barack Obama.
Yes, my brother. Barack.
Bro.
And
okay. I'll take Barack.
And what that means is blessed. So I'm basically saying that as far as I'm aware, you're a blessed guy. I've known you for a minute, and you've always come across as a blessed fella.
I think all the women that I've dated will say,
"Hey, listen,
I'm a blessing."
Listen to Barack now. And what are you calling the girl that you're going to talk about?
Let's call it Tando.
Ooh, Tando. That is very common in the southern hemisphere of Africa, and that means love, right?
Love, because I was in love.
Hey,
that was the love of my life,
bruh.
And it actually feels awkward calling her was, because I thought that it really would be.
Oh my gosh.
The love of my life for life. But let's call it Tando. Okay,
cool. So she's called Tando. And then the second reason why the podcast is doing great is because they're real life lessons that people learn from the story that you're going to share. So, you've got lessons for me.
I do.
Fire
but
away.
Can you just, you forgot something.
What's that?
You forgot something. That I am the first man to get on the pod in a while.
Yes!
Because you did put out an appeal and say, fellas, y'all letting me down. Fellas are not coming on the pod.
Yes.
I said, you know what? I will take up the mantle. I will literally volunteer myself because this is something that I really feel like I need to share.
Listen, I owe you a beer. When I come your ends, I'm going to get you drank upon drank because genuinely, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I put a tweet out last week to say, hey, listen, fellas, I need you to come on board because if you listen to the stories that come up, it's predominantly female, right? And we know that it's not just girls who go through breakups. Even guys go through breakups. So I put out the tweet and then my brother responded. And this is literally the first male episode of 2023. So Barack, thank you very much. And it's like you're living up to the name because he was the first black president of the US. And you're the first male to drop an episode in 2023.
Bro, like I Barack means so much to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not putting my idea out there, but I'll also tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Because Barack Obama is the president who spoke at my graduation ceremony. So
for real,
there's a lot for me, like, with the name.
Relatable with the name.
So I didn't talk to you about this name. I don't know why you've chose it.
Yeah.
But it must be a sign that this pod is gonna be juicy.
Yes,
and it is gonna live up to its billing. So
I'm loving this already.
If you are looking for a sign, this is the sign.
I'm loving this already, Barack. Thanks, man. So back to your lessons. What lessons do you have for us?
Okay, so bro, like I thought about this is the first time I've thought about my relationship, and try to really come up with a bunch of lessons that I could give. I know, like your previous guests have given you like some 10, some 15.
Yeah.
But I literally have 3, and they're all interconnected.
Good.
Right?
Let's have them.
The first one is never put someone on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Never put anyone on a pedestal.
Wow. So should I change that? Should I change that someone to anyone?
No, someone you're interested in dating, or someone you're dating, or someone you're in love with. You know, they say love is blind.
Yeah.
And the person that you want can do no wrong. But never put anyone on a pedestal. Especially the person that you're with.
That's mad. Lesson number 2?
Lesson to number 2 is forget potential. Take someone for who they are at that point.
I'm loving this. So forget potential. Take someone for who they are potential, at that point. Like literally what you're seeing is what you get.
What you see is what you get. Don't look at someone as who they are going to be, or who you'd want them to be, or think you are the person who can get that out of them.
Right.
Take someone for who they are. Whatever they show you, that is it. What you see is what you get.
And lesson number 3?
Last but not least, lesson number 3, don't ignore the red flags.
Oh, yes, you can say that again. Yeah, they're a real indicator of danger, aren't they?
Right. Don't ignore the red flags. I mean, like, everyone is going to have flaws, right? And you're also going to have positives. But don't say because, the positives outweigh the negatives, I'm going to forget about the negatives. No. Red flags are red flags. Don't ignore them.
Mud, I'm just going to play those 3 back. So number 1, never put someone you're in love with on a pedestal. Lesson number 2, forget potential. Take someone for who they are at that point. And then lesson number 3, don't ignore the red flags. I'm keen to get straight into this, brother Barack. So, where did you meet Tando, and why did you decide this is the girl for me?
Bro, so I have a confession. I love pretty women. So it goes without saying. Also, I met Tando on IG, right? So Tando is very pretty. She has a side hustle that she does. So she posted something, and her mutual friend. So I didn't know Tando, but we have a mutual friend. So a mutual friend reposted her story on her profile. So I said to our mutual friend, I'm like, damn, who's that? She's like, oh, this is Tando. You don't know about her? I'm like, damn, no, I don't know about Tando. So she's like, she actually happens to be very single right now. So at that point, I'd been single for a while, and my friend had been kind of concerned, like, hey, you're too much on the streets. You need to settle down. I'm just like, okay, but I haven't found the one. So when I asked her who she was, she's like, opportunity. This is it. She's single. Are you interested? I can put it word for you. So I'm just like, yeah, let me think about it, you know? So behind my back, she actually went to Tando and said, hey, my friend just hit me up asking about you. So Tando then says to her, you know what? Yeah, I know I'm single and all, but if friend is interested, you know what? he's gonna slide in my DMs. So she comes back to me. She says, "Hey, I told her." I'm like, "You told her what?" I didn't ask you to say shit. So she says, "No, no, no. I told her you're gonna slide in your DMs in the next 1 hour."
Mad.
I'm like, 1 hour? So the thing is, like, I like the girl. She looks good.
Yeah.
But if I don't slide in her DMs in an hour, I look weak.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, damn, this is not the challenge I was expecting, but I'm gonna do it regardless. So, bro, I hit her with I had to come up with something, bro. But I literally just wrote whatever I had in my head at that point.
What did you come up with, Barack? I want to hear what your game is like. What did you come up with?
So the thing is, like, you don't want to look like a crip, especially if you're sliding into someone's DMs, right? Because women are very sensitive about that. And I don't want to speak for women, but listen, if you're gonna hit someone up like randomly, don't look like a creep. Like, you know, like, damn, you look so sexy, man. Like, I wish I could eat that. No. You're gonna have to be you have to balance out she has to know that, okay, you notice there, you like her, but you're not being a creep. So I just came up with something like, hey, you just came up like on my timeline because your friend reposted you. And I was just curious. I opened your profile. I definitely love what you're doing. I like your hustle. And you definitely look to me like somebody who's very driven. All of that. And I definitely would want to get to know more of you. And so I didn't even expect a response. It's one of those things where, like, you just send, you're like, you know what? If it's gonna land, it's gonna land. But even if it doesn't, it's fine.
All right, yeah.
Bro, she responded, bro.
How quick?
She's like, oh my God.
How quickly did she respond?
Man, she gave me like maybe 37 minutes because I remember I was counting. Because I had never been with anybody like that before, bro. She was hot. Thunder was hot. So I was counting. I'm like, let me see how long it takes her to respond. 37 minutes, bro. She responded. She was like, hey, thank you for pretty much it was just like, oh yeah, well, thank you for your cute message. Like, wow, like nobody's ever said something this nice to me before. And yeah, your friend told me that you saw my post on the page. So we started like kind of like just talking, building off of like our mutual friend, like how we knew each other and stuff like that. But at that point, I knew she was single, right? Because my friend already told me.
Yeah.
So I wasn't wasting time because I knew there was probably maybe like other 7, 8, 9, 10 other guys who were probably also trying to get in. So now I wanna make sure, like I set myself, like, I set myself apart from everybody else. So, bro, I wasn't even boring with the convo, bro. We started talking, and I think that day we actually got on the phone and we spent like an hour and a half on the phone. So that was a good start. At least she already knew what I was about and what I really wanted from her.
Yeah.
But we were in 2 different cities. So there was no like, oh yeah, let's go on a date tomorrow or anything. We just had to talk at that point and just try to get to know each other and then, eventually set up like a date. So that's how we met.
Okay. So you guys then go on your date and then you figure, no, I'm really down for this chick.
Bro, so no. So we did not meet, I think, for another... So it was... So for another 3 months.
Another 3 months?
So it was 3 months of talking. And then this is the part where I'll say long distance is trash. But we'll talk about this at the end of the story. Yeah. You'll connect. But we were talking for like 3 months. So coincidentally, the first time we had an opportunity to meet in person, it was actually my birthday weekend.
Okay.
So she knew that it was going to be my birthday. So she says, hey, I know your birthday's coming up. And this time we kind of like, we are not official, but we are almost official. It's like, listen, we talk to each other every day, this, that, and third. Like, we have something going on. We just haven't met in person. So she says, hey, I'm going to come to your city on your birthday weekend, and I was thinking like we could link up. So the fool that I am, because I wasn't perfect, and I want to make sure like your listeners know like I wasn't perfect. So I said to her, listen, I already had my friends like tell me they want to do something for me, so I can't see you like on my birthday weekend. Let's do it another weekend, like the weekend after. She's like, nah. I already have something that I also want to do. Like, I want to just kill two birds with one stone. So, come in that weekend. If you can see me, you can see me. If you can, that's fine. So I'm just like, you know what? I'll figure it out. And that is the first mistake that I made, where I prioritized what my friends wanted. I prioritized other people before my girlfriend.
Oh.
And it's always been a weakness for me because it's manifested several times. And that's one thing that I feel like you should never do. Because your friends are always going to be there and they understand.
Yeah.
And this was my opportunity to meet my girlfriend for the first time. But because my friends had already planned this big party for me for my birthday, this, that, and that, and she didn't want to be a part of it, I was just like, nah, she can wait. I'll stick with my friend's plan, right? But anyway.
So really, what was the reason for not wanting to be part of it, by the way?
So remember, I met her through a mutual friend. So she knew some people in those circles that she didn't want to see.
Okay.
So she's like, yeah, I just don't want it my first time seeing you to be like around those people.
Right, okay.
I would rather not.
Okay.
So I'm just like, okay, I understand. Okay. So this is the first flag, okay? We are meeting up. So I told her, okay, it's fine. You can come to town. I'll try to see you, but I'm also gonna do what my friends want me to do, which is like party. So I do the party thing, and she flies into town. She already has a full itinerary because she's assuming she's not gonna see me. And I told her like, listen, there's no way you're gonna come to my city, and this is the first I'm not gonna see you. So anyway, the first night I do whatever I'm doing like with my friends, and then I tell her like, hey, I've cleared my schedule for tomorrow. So tell me where you're gonna be, and then I'll come see you. So she's staying in a hotel. So we're like, okay, we're talking. She's like, yeah, I'll send you the details, and then you can come to my hotel. Bro, I went to bed. I wake up. So her hotel was like an hour and a half from my house. Okay. So I told her before, I'm like, send me your details, send me your hotel, send me your room number, and then I'll just show up. And then we'll go for brunch or whatever it is. So I wake up, I go to bed. I wake up, there's still no hotel. There's no room number. Like, but I knew the name of the town. It was literally just like an hour and a half from my house. It was a different town, Katasota. So I just started driving. So I'm calling her, she's not picking up. I text her, she doesn't respond. So I'm just like, okay, that's fine. Anyway, I get to that town, okay? I park at a mall because I'm just like, I need to look fresh. Let me just buy. So I'm just gonna buy like, some new clothes and whatnot so I can look really good to kill time before she responds. So she finally responds. She says, hey, I'm at this hotel, this room. So I'm done with the mall. I change up, whatever. I drive to the hotel. Bro, she comes down the elevator. She's much more beautiful in person. Like, I'm just like, oh my God. This woman is about to be my girlfriend. Anyway, we go up to her room, right? Bro, she opens the door into her room. We get in the room. This is a king bed, okay? Bro, the bed is a mess. Okay. The bed is a mess, bro.
Okay.
And then there's like a bottle of tequila. It's probably like almost finished. And then there's like a bottle of rosé, it's almost finished. I'm just looking around, and in my head, I'm just like, what are the chances another nigga slept in this room? But I'm like, I'm not even gonna entertain the thought because she could never do that, you know.
But why wouldn't she be able to do that?
Because
why were you reasoning that
I
out?
thought that she told me she was coming primarily because it was my birthday weekend, and two, we had been talking for so long, bro. It had been like almost 3 months. So I thought like me and her were kind of like exclusive, even though we had never said that. But listen, you and I are exclusive, okay?
Why would you make that assumption?
Because, bro, it's one of those like, I'm not gonna start a relationship with you without never having met you in person. So, but while we're still like talking before we even met officially, come on, like it kind of feels like we're in a relationship. Like we talk to each other like every day. We send each other like, cute texts. I'm buying you flowers. We're doing everything that a couple is supposed to be doing in a relationship. It's just not official because we just haven't met in person.
But couples make things official, so you're not really working like a couple. You're just working like really close friends.
Right. No. That wasn't a friendship. For sure, that wasn't a friendship. But it wasn't a relationship either.
So what was it?
But in my mind, I wouldn't have gone to. So I'm just saying, in my mind, I would not have entertained anybody at that point. Like for me, I was kind of like exclusive. Like I was already committed to her.
This sounds like you were having a relationship with yourself at this point. only because like you're saying, in your mind you were exclusive. In your mind you wouldn't be sending cute texts. In your mind you wouldn't be saying you've come all this way just for me. But what was she saying in her mind?
But you know what? I feel like this comes down to my lesson, the first lesson, which was I put this girl on a pedestal.
Yeah.
I felt like we were both on the same level.
Yeah.
We were equally committed. And in my pure heart, which is not so pure most of the time, I felt like me and her, like we were like, I was loyal. Like I wasn't talking to anybody, even though like we'd never met in person. I wasn't entertaining other people in my DM. She was literally the only person to me. Okay. So anyway.
Yeah.
So I that's why I said when I walked into that room, I just like, nah.
Yeah.
Let me just get rid of this thought because she will never do that to me. Right. So I walk in the bathroom. There's like a pile of clothes, like her clothes on the floor. I'm like, damn, what happened here? Looks like a hurricane. Just like, you know what? I went out with my cousin yesterday. We got drunk and then I started throwing up. So that's why excuse the mess. And she's getting for our brunch. I'm like, cool. So I'm like, you drank that whole bottle of tequila by yourself? She's like, can you believe it? I'm like, explains it. Okay. So anyway.
Okay.
Long story short.
Yeah.
We went out for brunch. We went out to like one of the landmarks in the town. We took some cute pictures. And then I had to drop her at the airport because she was flying out.
Oh no.
So bro, we're hugging like bye bye. She refused to kiss me. She's like, nah, bro, like it's the first time I'm seeing you. Like, I'm not that kind of girl. Like, this is motivation. This is the girl I need. So I'm just like, bet, I'm coming for you. Like, I'm gonna come to your city. She's like, fine, well, let's make it happen, right? So anyway, we continue talking, and then time flies. Like it probably maybe like the next month. I made a trip. I planned the trip out to her city, but the week before I went, okay, she had gone to like another city because her side also got her traveling to places to do like a gig and whatnot. So she goes to the city So she's like, hey babe, I have this appointment like for my gig, but after that I'm gonna go out like with some friends and have fun. I'm like, hey. So now we're calling each other like pet names, like babe. So at this point, it's kind of like I don't care what you say, man, but I think it kind of like feels like it's official, right? She's like, hey babe, this and that. So anyway, so I said to her, hey, I want to make sure you're okay. So make sure you text me when you take your Uber back to the hotel, just so you're safe. She's like, cool, right? So, man, I'm waiting for that Uber text. It never came, right?
You're right.
So, me, I'm knowing she went to this kickback where there were other people or other friends. And the time I started talking to her, she had just mentioned to me that there's another girl that she didn't like because that girl thought that her boyfriend was messing with her on the side.
Right.
But she told me like that she this girl was giving her so much attitude, and that she almost felt like she needed to do something with the guy
Just to spite and prove, yeah.
just to spite her, right?
Mm-mm.
So the kickback she went to, this couple was there. So for me, because I knew this story in my head, I'm just like, hey, I want to make sure you're back in your hotel, so make sure you text me when you get back. So she didn't say anything that night, bro. Bro, I didn't sleep. I mean, I slept, but I was bothered because she never texted me. So the next day, bro, I'm trying to call this girl. She's not picking up. This is a week before I go to a city, right? She eventually like calls me like at like 12 noon. She's like, hey, I'm so sorry. I missed your calls. I was sleeping. I'm like, I was dead worried about you because I didn't know whether you were safe. And you're like, you're a young girl. You're in a different city all by yourself. I just want to make sure you're okay. So, no, I'm so sorry. I'm fine. I'm okay. Um, I'm like, okay, bet, right? This is the second time, so I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. I'll see you next week to come visit.
So what was the excuse for not texting you or picking up your calls earlier?
She said I got drunk.
Okay.
And I passed out.
Okay, right.
I'm like, okay. I mean, we all drink, right? It's not a big. Anyway, forgot about it. So the next weekend, I go to her city. So this is what we made it official. I took, and my girl was high maintenance. She made it clear. I don't have a problem with high maintenance women because I felt like I could. Hey, high maintenance was fine with me. So first day we do things. We do winery tours, all that, and we make the relationship official. Okay.
Well, when you say we, but what does that mean? Did you finally say I want you to be my girl, or?
Yeah, so we eventually talk, like, what is this? Like, are we just like trying to see where things go, or this is like a relationship?
Who asked that question, you or her?
No, that was like her question.
Yeah.
Because I'd never been like brutally like honest and just said, this is, I want you to be my official girlfriend. There's nobody else. This, that, and that. This is the first time we're really spending like a whole weekend together. So I then asked the question, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'm down." So anyway, we spend, the weekend is fine, and then of course, sex, everything, boom, everything is good, right? So she says to me, "I'm getting this text from this guy." Like, she's trying to be like honest, like, hey, this guy is in my DMs. I don't even know, the same dude, right? That, whose girl had been like, giving attitude and this and that, she was gonna say, I'm just gonna do it just to spite her, So, hey, this guy is in my DMs and whatnot. Now she's telling, because she's now my girlfriend, just, full disclosure. I'm just like, how is this guy so comfortable? Like, so I said to her, I remember you telling me about this like months ago. Did something ever happen between you guys? She's like, huh? I'm like, did something ever happen between you guys?
Yeah.
Then she's quiet. I'm just like, bro, just tell me, like, just if there's a time, now is the time. So she says, yeah. So I'm like, when?
And more importantly, what?
Yeah. She's, I saw him the weekend I came to your city. I'm like, what? Bro. I wanted to be mad. I think I actually was mad. But excuse was like, hey, we're not in a relationship. I'm like, but I thought like we'd been talking for like almost 3 months. What do you mean like we're not in a relationship? I mean, like, I understand, but you didn't tell me this. So everything now started making sense. Why she didn't give me a hotel and room number that night. And I waited, until like late morning for her to text me and tell me where she was.
Yeah.
And the mess in the hotel, all that stuff. Just thinking, I'm like, shit. This girl refused to kiss me at the airport. But she had been smashing a whole nigga like
the night before,
dating somebody else the night before. I'm like, okay. I've always said this publicly that I don't think that cheating is a deal breaker for me, because things happen. Okay. Especially like, this is another topic, man. Hopefully you can have me on your pod another time. We can talk about all those things. But for sure this time, like, listen, we're not in a relationship. But I thought that we were at that point where like we could literally commit. We were both committed. So I'm just like, okay. I'm like, is there any other time? Because now I just want to know everything. I don't want surprises, right? Was that it? Any other time? She's like, actually one more time.
Hey.
I'm like, when? She's like, the time I went out of town and I went to that kickback. I'm like, oh, the day you were supposed to text me that you were back, you made it back to your hotel and you did not. So what happened? So I actually had to tell me exactly like how everything played out. How this guy was there with his girlfriend, and then the girlfriend went to sleep, and then the guy went to talk to her, and they ended up like in one of the rooms in the Airbnb, and then whatever, they had sex. But bro, this is literally a week before I went to visit her. This was like literally like just the previous week. So for me, this should have been a red flag, because I'm just like, where's your sense of judgment? I mean, like, officially we are not. I haven't asked you, and we have not officialized a relationship, but we've been talking for almost like 4 months. So anyway, I said, you know what? I love my girlfriend.
I could ask you the same question. Where was your sense of judgment?
Bro,
because
I loved Tato. Like, at that point, I was so much into her. I'm just like, you know what? It's fine. She told me, right? Full disclosure, she was honest. She didn't try to hide this from me. But now there's no like gray areas. Now we're official. She knows. We talked about it. So there's no next time. You know what I mean? Bro. And I felt like she was the best thing in the world. The thing about putting people on pedestals, I felt like she was golden. Like, I felt like this was the best relationship I'd ever been, the best woman I've ever dated. So at that point, I'm just like, nah, it's fine. We're good. She could have made these decisions. One, she was drunk. Two, she didn't know where we stood, but now she knows. And this was what I was telling myself. So again, I think
the way I'm biting my tongue.
No, I need you to say what you want. It's okay. I'm over it. Just say what you want to say.
Look, so this whole, let me be upfront and honest. Just based on my personal experiences, is signaling, dude, I'm just letting you know that you're not the only one in this picture. Get comfortable with the idea. That's all it was signaling. And at the same time, I don't care that this guy is got someone of their own. I still want to smash. And here you are busy trying to make her your own.
Yeah, bro, but I had on a pedestal, man. I thought that this woman could do no wrong, man. I thought she really was the one for me. So
So what were you basing it on? Because you're now in a you've been talking for 4 months.
right.
You hadn't seen her up until the third month, and then you've got a view of her that really tickles your fancy and you really like within the first 3 months. So what were you really into? Because it's clearly not the person's company physically, because at this point you'd only seen her once at the hotel.
Right.
So what was it that really drove you to say, I'm in love?
I think is the vibe that we had, the connection. Just when you with someone who you just vibe with effortlessly, like your friends, like you just get along on so many levels that you don't struggle to talk. Long distance. The thing about long distance is the communication has to be A1, because if the communication sucks, it's not even going to survive, because there's no other way that you can build a bond outside of talking on the phone or texting. So that part was so good, bro. We got along on every level. She was very like, she was like cultured, very down to earth, family oriented. She came from a very nice family. Her goals and aspirations, the things that she used to say about what she wanted to do with her life, all that stuff. Like, that's what got me hooked.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I had never been with anybody who was
like that,
saying the kind of things that she was saying, or had been like you had the kind of personality that she had. And that I will always give her a 10. Like, if I could literally just marry someone based off of that, like personality and vibe, she'll be my number one, because it was just like perfect.
So would I be
And
okay to assume that words matter to you?
yes, words and actions. Words and actions. I think that my love language is okay. Let's not get into that, because we're talking about time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really what got me ignoring the red flags, because I said, like, I've not been with anybody like this before.
Yeah.
The personality is A1. Like, we just get each other. The communication is so good. This is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Yeah.
So now she's told you, what happened at the party. You're like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cheating's not a deal breaker. Let's keep this moving.
Let's keep this moving. So my girl had a side hustle, right? She also had a main job. She was a corporate chick. She had a corporate job, and she also had a side hustle. But she wanted her side hustle to become the main hustle. So, being the man I am, like, I think if how you know that I like you is if I give you, because I'm a giver. Like, I don't hold back. So she tells me, "Hey, babe, I have this vision for my business, my side hustle. I want to do this website. I want to do this marketing. Like, help me." So I'm like, bet. I look up, like, a graphic designer and someone who could build a website. Paid out of pocket. I'm like, anything for my girl, because I want that vision for her to manifest. Like, I really want her side hustle to be a main hustle, because she was already complaining that she didn't like a corporate job and this, that, and third. So I paid this person, and my girl really wasn't doing anything. So I'm just like, why is it starting to sound like I'm more invested in her business than she is? So I'm like, I'm just gonna fall back. And this should have been a sign to me to see that my girl really didn't want to work. She's not. She doesn't. She just wanted to be like just a kept woman. Like, she wanted the high. She was high maintenance, but she really didn't want to work. So for me, then I'm just like, again, because I held it in such high regard. I'm just like, okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna ignore this, bro. Up until today, that person is still waiting for her to hear. I paid the person upfront.
Wow.
Up until today, like, it's almost maybe 3 years later, she still hasn't given that person the details and whatever for a website.
No way.
Yeah, but anyway, so it really kind of concerned me. Like, okay, if you really want your side hustle to be the main hustle, and you're not even putting the time that you need to put into a side hustle, so how is it going to become your main hustle? But I'm just like, you know what? I'm okay, because my vision for the future is I believe in a one income household where my income should be enough to take care of all the bills. Like, your money is okay, but I want our lifestyle to be dependent on one income, because if it depends on both our incomes and one person loses their job, or screwed, right?
It's a danger, yeah.
So I'm just like, don't worry. Like, I'm not too concerned about your income. So whenever you get to it, that's fine. So I ignore this, right? So the first major like issue that we had, where I also should have picked up like that, this was not a good situation. My sister had a wedding. Okay, so my sister plans a wedding with a fiance, and she engages because my ex was into wedding related stuff. So my sister's like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna promote you, my brother. I'm gonna have your girlfriend like do stuff for my wedding. Perfect. That way she also gets to meet the family. So my girlfriend says, hey, for what your sister wants me to do, I'm gonna have to bring in an assistant, and but I don't want to charge her all that because she's family. Do you mind just paying for the assistant? I'm like, no problem. So, bro, I pay for the assistant's flight. I pay for the assistant's hotel. I don't even tell my sister, because my sister, I'm just like, this is between me and my girl. She's giving my sister a discount. So that's fine. So I forget about it, right? So the week of the wedding, my sister says, hey, I'm going to get somebody else to also help with the wedding. I'm like, wait, but my girl is coming with an assistant. She's like, no, she's not coming with an assistant. She told me assistant was too expensive for her to bring.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, but wait, I paid for someone. So I called my girl. I'm like, hey, babe, I paid for a ticket and hotel for your assistant. She's like, no, babe, I thought I told you that the assistant was too expensive, so she's just gonna come and hang out with me, because the assistant was her friend. So she's like, she's just gonna come and keep me company over there. I'm like, wait, I am flying someone to just come and keep you company and pay for the hotel for the 6 days you're gonna be around.
So at this point, when you're making the payments, but was the name male or female? The person you're making payments?
No, it was female.
Yeah?
No, female.
Okay. All right, okay.
Female. Yeah, it was female. That was a friend. Yeah. Yeah. Bro, I would not have paid for a nigga. That's for sure. So anyway, it's wedding weekend. She flies in. Assistant or her friend flies in. She's no longer an assistant. She's just coming to keep her company, pretty much. So they've been friends for a while. So, bro, I'm paying for this girl to stay in a hotel for 6 nights. Because my girl and I are sharing a room together for the entire time she's around. So the friend couldn't stay with us. So she had to stay in a separate room. So I paid for a flight. I paid for her. So I'm just like, no big deal. So comes to like, my girlfriend has to provide the service for the wedding, and it starts the day before the wedding. Bro, like, I told my girl, you're gonna be needed at this time. Please be ready. My girl, like, she smokes weed, so she's smoking with a friend, and they're just drinking, they're just hanging out. I get there to pick up, my girl's not even ready, bro. So now it's like, everyone is like, yo, where's your girl? Like, it's time. Like, she needs to be around, like, to help my sister with the wedding stuff. So we probably were like an hour late. And that set the time back for everybody else who was waiting for the bride, right? So anyway, one of my sisters, she's very vocal. She's like, nah, I'm not letting this shit slide. So after the event, before the wedding, she's just say, hey, can we try to be professional? Because this really like set up like everybody back, and it just wasn't a good look. But I think the way she said it to my girl was a bit firm, and my girl was pissed. So we're driving back to the hotel. She says, hey, I didn't like the way your sister talked to me. I'm like, what did she say? Because I wasn't there when it happened. She's like, yeah, she was just saying, she talked to me in a very condescending manner. Bro, me, because I love my girl, I'm like, wait a minute. I called my sister, car Bluetooth, when everyone can hear. I'm like, hey, what happened? Like, I'm hearing that you said A, B, C, D to my girl. What really happened? She's like, oh yeah, I was just saying to her, like, can we try being a little bit more, professional? Because this wasn't acceptable for them to be late. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, there are better ways of saying things. This wasn't, you shouldn't have. So my sister is now like on a whole apology tour, like, and this is the first time my sister and I have ever had any issue. So again, it should have been like a light bulb moment. Like, why is it the first time you're having the conversation like this with your sister? Why is it because it's because your girl is involved? Yeah. We had never, ever, ever had an issue. So, but again, because I'm blind and I'm just like, nah, I'm taking my girl's side, right? Anyway, the next day, the wedding happened. I made sure like my girl was there on time and she was doing her part. So something happened while like the bride was getting ready and the bridesmaids and all of that annoyed my girl, right?
What happened?
So she was meant to provide this service for the wedding, right? But you remember, like she said, she couldn't bring in an assistant. So my sister got somebody else to help. And that person ended up playing a bigger role than my girlfriend. My girlfriend felt like it should have been her first and then this person next.
Right.
But that person ended up playing, because my girl already proved like she was really like unreliable the previous day.
Yeah.
So my sister was like, I'm not taking chances on my actual day. Let me have this pleasant person play like a bigger role. So the person literally like dominated and played a bigger role. So my girlfriend was annoyed. So my girlfriend was my date. She's meeting my family for the first time, all of that. Bro, I said to my girl, hey, I forgot my checkbook. Because Zimbabwe, we like to, write out checks and like don't give money at weddings and stuff like that. So anyway, my girlfriend is not responding. So I'm like, okay. So the wedding starts. Okay. The seat is still empty. My girlfriend is not there. Her and a friend. The ceremony starts. Ceremony ends. My girlfriend is not there.
No.
And my hotel is literally 10 minutes from the venue. Okay. Reception starts. People ask you like, hey, where's your girlfriend? Like, where's your girlfriend? Where's your girlfriend? Like, she's supposed to be getting ready. She's coming. Bro, the wedding, the reception happened 15 minutes before the wedding ended. This is almost like midnight. 15 minutes. Half the people already left.
Damn.
That's when my girlfriend walked in with a friend.
You lie.
So again, I was mad this whole time, but the moment I saw her, I just melted, bro. I'm just like, damn, my girlfriend. So, so my girlfriend walks in, and then I'm more than happy to like introduce her to like whoever was still remaining. She was looking delicious. She was looking. If anything, she knew how to make a statement. Like she was like, oh man, okay. So she walks in. I introduce her to whoever's still there. We take pictures with the wedding, couple. But I could feel a vibe like between her and my sister. Whoever. I was like, I'm not even gonna think about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the wedding finished, and we went back to the hotel. And then the next day, I think she was leaving that day. She left, and I was just thinking, I'm just like, why would she do that? Like, this is the biggest stage. This is the opportunity for her to meet my family, to leave a lasting impression on people who really matter. And she literally walks in 15 minutes before the wedding finishes. Like, what is she trying to say? Because already it left a sour taste in like my family. They just like people don't tell you exactly how they feel about someone until you break up. So anyway, people were just kind of reserved with how they felt about it. But that was the first time I said to myself, my girlfriend is not perfect. She's not as much of an angel as I thought she was, right? I'm just like, because I don't care what kind of judgment she was making. I don't care she was upset at whatever happened, but the disrespect to actually walk in like 15 minutes before the wedding finished, definitely that wasn't on, right?
Well, where was she anyway?
No, she was at the hotel. She was chilling with
the whole time.
Yeah, they were chilling in the hotel the whole time with a friend. That was a way to protest against, being given like a junior role in the wedding, because my sister decided to give this other person like a bigger responsibility.
That's crazy.
So I'm just like, if you can't even do it for me, then like I don't get it. So that's like literally the first time I started looking at my girl differently. I'm like, no, I don't think it's gonna work, right? But anyway, back to her side hustle. So she quit. Oh, she quit her corporate job. And how I found out again is she had a birthday, so I took her to Mexico for a birthday. And at this point, I still don't gotten over the wedding thing, and I was already thinking like, yeah, I think this relationship is not gonna go anywhere. So I'd already started entertaining the idea that I was gonna break up with her.
Right.
So, but her birthday was coming. I'm just like, I'm still gonna do what I said I was gonna do for her birthday, and I was gonna take her to Mexico. And she's telling me like, I don't like my job, but I'm like, you can't quit your job if you're not even putting time in your side hustle. Make the side hustle work before you quit your job. You have so many responsibilities with your family, this, that, and third. I'm okay looking after you, but you have all these other responsibilities. Like, you cannot quit your job. So anyway, we go to Mexico for her birthday, and we have fun. I mean, she's drunk one night. She's like, hey, can you get something from my phone? I'm like, cool. So I get into her phone. Bro, I don't know. This was wrong with me. But I don't know what made me go through a text. So I went through her text exchange with a friend. And she's telling her, oh, I already put in like my 2 weeks notice. I'm glad I'm leaving this job, this, that, and third. I'm like, wait a minute. You already did this. Yeah. You didn't tell me? Like, you're just acting like everything is normal. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's just finish this vacation. Cool. But for me, this was like, nah, last straw. Like, I can't. Like, this is just not going to work. So anyway, we finish the vacation. She goes back home. I go visit my other friends in a different city where I was going to spend the next month. And the moment I got there, bro, she started like, I don't know, she didn't really trust me every time I went to the city. I mean, maybe for good reason or whatever it is, but I was so loyal and faithful, bro. I wasn't talking to anybody else. So she's just like, you're not spending enough time with me on the phone. Like, it seems like you're too busy. You're talking to your friends all the time. But I'm just like, I am visiting. I'm seeing people I hadn't seen like in almost a year. So you know how it is like when you're hanging out with your friends and then your girl calls you on FaceTime and she sees that you're literally like seated like in a group with people, but she wants to have a 45-minute conversation. I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but I can do it. Let me call you later. So those things were like annoying her. Like, no, I still prioritize you. My girl would go off for brunch with her friends and get into the toilet and FaceTime me and sit for like 15 minutes. I'm like, hey, you're with your friends. Like, go and have fun. Like, I'm not going anywhere. She's like, no, but I want to talk to you. I'm like, I get it. You want to talk to me, but you are with other people. Just give them their time, hang out. And then when you get home, I'm still going to be here. So she's like, I sacrifice for you every time I'm hanging out with my friends. I always leave them and come and talk to you. Why can't you do the same thing? I'm like, I'm sorry. I cannot. So we're fighting for like a whole week to a point where I was like, I'd actually been thinking about like breaking up with you anyway. So
you said this to her?
No. I was thinking.
You're thinking this to yourself, yeah.
I'm just like because since the wedding incident, a lot of I did talk to like I have mentors. I have family. I did talk to several people. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this situation? And a lot of people are like, nah, bro. I know one of my cousins was literally like, bro, this is like highway to poverty, get out of that situation. So at that point, I already felt like, okay, this is really not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So after those like 7 days of straight fighting over just like nothing, bro, like I'm just like, she just hated the idea that I was in a different city and I potentially was doing things which I wasn't. And then I'm just like, nah, I'm done, So I legit like just said, what's the nicest way to break up with someone? I'm going to send her a text. Breaking up with someone by text is not the best idea.
No, it's a terrible idea.
It's a very terrible idea, but I felt like if I called her and we started having a conversation, I would not be able to say what I want to say because obviously it's going to be interjecting and saying things. So it's going to disrupt my line of thought, like whatever I'm thinking. So let me put all my thoughts into text and then I'm disrupted and then let me send the text. That's what I did. So I sent her a text and then she called me back like after like 5 minutes. So she's like, so you're not man enough to break up with me like by voice? You just want to send me a... I'm like, no, I didn't want you to. I wanted to just put my thoughts down undisrupted. And this was the best way. So she's like, okay, let's go over like your reasons. So we go over the scenario where I found out that, she quit a job. She didn't tell me. Like, we don't have honesty in the relationship. And 2, she wasn't as invested as much as I paid to like invest in her side hustle, which she wanted to be in the main hustle. She really wasn't doing anything. And for me, it was like a big risk or red flag for me because, bro, nothing in this life is promised, right? I can make all the money today, but I'm just one accident away from being crippled or from being like unemployed. And if you don't have it in you to actually hustle and work, then like we're literally gonna be destitute, right? And I didn't want that life would be like I like being comfortable. I like my life the way it's comfortable. I'm not going to be put in a position where I have to be destitute because the other person doesn't have it in it. And I didn't even at that point think that if we were put in that position, she would be able to step up or she would even stay. Okay. So I'm like, just all these things are super important to me. So yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. And that was it. So we broke up. But this is the thing. I would say this is the kind of person I am. Okay. Um, Before we broke up, she had picked up another engagement, like another, gig. And I booked a hotel and paid for a flight. And after we broke up, words exchanged, she's upset, all this, I still kept those things. I'm like, hey, I had done this for you, so I'm still gonna honor my commitment. I'm not gonna be like that guy who says, okay, I'm just gonna cut you off totally, like, investing. I'm still investing in your business. Anything you want me to do, I'll help you. I will help you out. So this girl actually came for this wedding commitment, and I paid for a hotel. This is like a month after we broke up. I paid for a hotel. I paid for a flight. And guess who came to drop her off?
Oh no. That guy.
That guy.
What the hell?
So, dude pulls up in his truck at my hotel, the one I'm paying for her, after we've broken up.
And how did you find this out?
Because I could see the freaking front lobby from, like, hotel entrance from my room. So when she told me, oh, I left the airport, I'm on my way, I'm like, are you at an Uber? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, cool. So I just waited. And I see a dude's truck pulling up into the driveway of the hotel. I'm like, wow. So she gets in. This is the first time I'm seeing her after we broke up. She's like, don't get no ideas. Like, I don't like you right now. So let's just make this weekend cool. I'm like, okay. I really could have just canceled this room. I'm saying to myself, I didn't need to be even going through this. This is me taking out money to pay for a hotel for somebody I broke up with last month.
So what were you guys doing in the hotel anyway?
We didn't do anything. To be honest, this is the first time we're seeing each other in person since the breakup. So she had a few things to get off her chest. Like, she didn't really think like, I was, like, because I'm the one who broke up with her. I'm the one who ended the relationship. So she felt like, I broke up with her for the wrong reasons and I was heartless, all that stuff. But anyway, so she's like, anyway, I'm like, okay, I've checked you in. I'm going back. She's like, no, you can stay. I'm like, okay. And to be honest, I actually did have a change of mind because I hadn't been with anybody else since my girlfriend. So I'm just like, okay, I might actually get lucky tonight. So I'm like, bet I'm gonna stay. And then she went for a wedding appointment, and she got so drunk. Guess who brought her back to the hotel?
Oh no! Come on. This is ridiculous now,
bro. So anyway, so the hotel was in my name, and when she got back to the hotel, dude didn't know that the hotel was in my name. So dude, because she's drunk, I think she's sleeping in the car, whatever. Dude says, "Oh, I brought somebody back. Like, this is her name, but she's sleeping right now. Can you just help me take her to her room?" And the people at the hotel like, "We don't have that person here." Like, so dude had to get into her phone, like Face ID, whatever it is, to start going through her texts. And that's when she told me, like, oh, she's actually in my room. So, bro, they came upstairs, like, with the hotel people.
They came upstairs.
Her, because she was sleeping.
Yeah.
She was, and dude, and the hotel, whatever front desk people, they're like, hey, do you know this person? I'm like, oh yeah. So I opened the door, it was dude. I'm like, what are you doing here? So he's also shocked, like, what are you doing here? Because he thought he was spending the night. So, I'm like, I know you are not going to spend the night in a room that I paid for smashing my ex. So I'm just like, hey, bro, like I'm actually staying here. Um, she's like, damn, and he's like, damn. You could tell the regret because for him this was it, you know. So
Wow.
I made myself very comfortable on the couch in the room. I'm drinking my drink, and she's on the bed. Um, so dude just realized like, okay, I'm just gonna have to take it now. It's not gonna happen. So dude ended up leaving, and that was it. And then I went to bed. She went to bed. Nothing happened. The next day, I actually took her out for brunch, and then took her back to the airport, and then she left. And that was the last time. That was the last time I saw her, and we eventually just stopped talking after that.
So I don't get how she would explain this guy who has his own chick and has his own relationship.
Bro, and that's what I'm saying. Like, when you put someone on a pedestal, you think they can do no wrong. Okay? You absolutely think like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They obviously could not do something like that. But people like are people. People are like ruthless. People like don't give a shit. People will do it.
People will do what is in their interest at that time.
And for me, it's just like, bro, you already know like this person like is not gonna leave their girl. So what makes you want to be like a side piece to I don't even want to put like the label side piece. I feel like it's just a convenience thing. Like whenever you feel like you just need to smash someone, you obviously just pick someone who's in a relationship and just say, oh yeah, this is better.
I'm speechless.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely speechless about this.
So yeah, so coming back to the lessons, told you number one, like if I had never put this person on a pedestal, I would have left the first time. The first time this shit happened in the hotel, I would have just been like, okay, this is it. I can't be in this situation. But I was just like, no, this person would not do this. Like they are incapable of doing this. And definitely she was capable of doing it. And in my mind, I already saw her as my wife. I already saw us married. In fact, we did have a conversation about getting engaged.
Mad.
And the funny thing is, I felt like I'm not a cheap guy. By the way, I think you know me. I'm not cheap by any means. I sent her this ring. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? She's like, nah. And then she sent me another ring. She's like, this is what I want. Bro, that ring was maybe just 6K more than what I had been trying to spend. I'm like, okay, so you cannot trust me that I can buy you something that you like? She's like, no, this is what I want. I mean, what you think I like is fine, but this is what I want. I'm like, okay, so if I buy you what I feel like is good, you're not gonna. She's like, nah, I'm not gonna like it. I'll probably ask you to take it back. Okay? Bro, this was an expensive ring. I'm just like, okay. And then she says, yeah, for the wedding, because I really saw myself married to her. And this is the second lesson. Like, I was looking at the potential. I was looking at who she would be as a wife. I was looking at like starting a family, the friendship we had, all these things. And she said to me, we're going to need to have two ceremonies. One has to be like in my home country, and it has to be like a limited guests, open bar, premium liquor. I'm like, we have to fly in a DJ from the USA. I'm just like, bro, to be honest, it was expensive. I still felt I could do it. But what was the red flag for me was she was saying, you have to, you have to, you have to, you have to. So, you have to fly in a makeup artist from the UK. So I'm just, bro, when I broke down the budget for the wedding, it was like over 200K, right? And it was like, you have to, you have to, you have to. So number one, you just quit your job. Number two, your side hustle is not even making you money. Number three, you are saying you, meaning you are not contributing nothing. So we are literally starting our wedding in debt because I'm not forking out 200K cash. So where's the we part? Where is the part where you think like, you know what? I would rather we put a down payment on a house and we start our life debt free. A wedding is just a day. And I give it to women. I mean, a wedding day is really important. You want it to be the best day of your life.
But how much debt though are you willing to get into?
How much? Like how much? Why do you want to do stuff for people? Like why do you care so much to do these things for your parents at our expense? Like we are starting our married life in debt because you want to just make sure your parents have the wedding that they want for you. So that was the other thing for me. I was just like, okay, clearly we are not of the same level. And you always prioritize your parents and what everybody else wants over our interest as a couple. So that was the second, that really like was the part of the second lesson for me, and not ignoring the red flags. Like the moment you just see something, cut it off. Like if I don't care like how many other positives there are in that situation, the sex is good. By the way, it was really good sex. Oh man, we're so compatible. But none of that matters. If there's a red flag, if it's there in the relationship, it's going to be there after you get married.
Oh yeah.
So you cut it off.
Jeez, man. I'll just play those back as we wrap this up. It all makes sense now when you talk about never put someone you're in love with on a pedestal, because that way you were unable to see a lot of the things that were not right. Right. It doesn't. I don't get the impression that she was ready to put in the work for anything, whether it was the side hustle or it was the relationship or it was the wedding. A lot of it was really left to you to decide and push. Right. So that for me covers number one quite nicely. Number two, forget potential. Take someone for who they are at that point. And at that point, again, I still get the same buzz. She wasn't ready to commit to anything. So she had a side dude who she was seeing who had his own chick, wasn't really giving your relationship a lot of time and energy. She didn't try and give you the hotel number. She didn't try and get you to come to the hotel. She didn't make an effort for your sister. She made sure she was spiteful and got there at the tail end of the wedding. She was basically saying to you, listen, this is all about me, right? This is the Tando show.
Right.
So when you're thinking about the potential she might have in becoming a wife, she just wasn't at that point to give you that. So that explains point number two quite nicely. And then number three, don't ignore the red flags. You had bare red flags here, brother.
It was a sea of red flags.
Yeah. It was a sea of red flags. But all the same, at least you came out of it. And also one thing that you saved, apart from the emotions that could have really crushed you, is your bank balance.
Right.
Because it sounds like she was going to spend quite a bit of your money there, brother.
No, she really. But the thing about it is, like, I never considered any of that, bro. Yeah. Like, I felt like if I had it, I would spend it. But the thing is, like, nothing is promised. Like, you can have it today and tomorrow it's gone.
It's gone, yeah.
What do we do when it's gone? And that's the problem.
Yeah. But hey, glad you lived to tell the story today, Barack.
Yeah.
And for those who've been listening to this episode again, 3 lessons came out. Never put someone you're in love with on a pedestal. Number 2, forget potential. Take someone for who they are at that point. And then last but not least, don't ignore the red flags. You've been listening to another episode of The Feeling Station. I'm your host, Tinto, and I will catch you in next weekend's episode.
Tell me what you're feeling.
Satis on Daru Raini and Chagizang.
Tell me what you're feeling. Now that it's over.
Satis on Daru Raini and Chagizang.
Let me talk about my feelings. Let me talk about my feelings, yeah.
Urudoi motoru no to kujiziro amai.
Kujiziro amai. Love is a fire.
Urudoi motoru no to kujiziro amai.